Hello, guys. Welcome to Crick Chatter Live. It's been a long time. So we are with the regular people and the new people. Let me welcome the new members right away. Sarvesh Bhai, very good to have you here, and Abhishek,
Thank you.
very good to have you. And we have our regular Saurabh Bhai, who dominates everything he speaks on. And we have Abhinav, who never stops talking once he gets the stage.
Mike.
And we have Hinder. We feel sorry for him because Punjab has not been so good on the auction today. He has not even switched on his videos so far. Yeah, this is all the introduction, guys. So it's been a crazy day today. It's been a crazy day with the highest bid going to 20 crores, 24 crores, first time. So it all started with Pat Cummings going to SRH. So I'll quickly divert the topic to Abhishek. So Abhishek, so what was your thought on Sunrisers auction and all?
Yeah, I think first of all, I'm going to give them 9.5 out of 10. So, why I'm giving them this much is once if you look at our team, what was the team before the auction? We had pretty much all the bases covered except for we wanted a wrist spinner and particularly we wanted Hasranga and we got him. And second, we wanted an out and out seam bowler from Australia because the three of them who are available there, they are the best there and we are glad that we got Pat Cummins. Although there is an issue about the price, but leaving aside the price, if you look at the way we got Hasranga at 1.5 and you got Cummins at 20, I mean that's how auction goes. Sometimes you get players who expected Hasranga. Everybody thought even Mumbai wanted Hasranga, a good spinner, but they didn't go. Chennai maybe wanted to go, but they didn't go. So I think the price there balances out there and if you look at the other picks we have, Travis Head is someone who we really wanted because if you look at our batting last season, we lacked a quality left-hander in the batting order except for Abhishek Sharma. So I think Travis Head solves a lot of problem. And you look at the picks we had, we got backups for Natarajan in Akash Singh and Jaydev Unadkat. And we also had a very good under Tamil Nadu Premier League player called Jathwet Subramaniam, who's interestingly, is from Hong Kong and he traveled to Tamil Nadu and he made his citizenship here and then he did well here. Although he's a Tamilan, he's from Hong Kong. So yeah, a lot of good picks and very satisfied. And Cummins not only does the job with the ball, but he also brings in that leadership role. Leadership not necessarily being the captain, but like what SRH used to have in their greater years. Like we had Kane, we had Morgan, we had Warner. When Warner was the captain, we had that leadership group. We lacked that because Warner and Kane Williamson went back-to-back seasons away from us. So I think the return of Cummins, we have Cummins, Markram, and we have Vittori. So yeah, hoping for good days ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's a very good auction summary, Abhishek. So my simple concern is Pat Cummins. Where do you see him at the order? Like, do you see him in the number six, number
Oh,
seven, and what do you feel? Yeah, Saurabh bhai.
if you are talking about 20, first of all, I feel 20.5 crore is very high price. He should have been quoted between 6 to 8 CR according to his performance in IPL. But additional 3 4 CR you can add it for your captaincy material. I know Adam Makram will not captain. I'm sure about it when you have Pat. But the problem is that I think I heard somewhere that Pakistan series is going to be started somewhere line the line during the IPL or initial days of IPL. There's a Pakistan series, some kind of series there where Australia will be playing. So will Pat will be available throughout that first, second. Australian players are talking about a lot about the workload management, and this guy is a throughout captain of Australia. Now, when you're talking about Pat Cummins as 20.5 CR and C is a captain, I understand that because of the captainship material you have asked him or took him, outbid everyone and give your purse absolutely zero. How you find out it is relatively correct? I'm just asking you to justify the money because last time when got he went for the too good amount 15 crore or 17 crore if I'm not wrong. The last time in the 2020 or 21 to KKR he was playing to represent. He didn't do
Yeah.
well when he got the higher money. He did much better when he bought back by 7.5 crore to the last one. I'm sorry, I'm not that versed with the IPL team's name. But the price, don't you think that price tag will have a lots of problem with him rather than, because each and every single decision will be scrutinized by commentators, by experts. So how you going to think exactly that anyways SRH is a good team, but how they will go through this particular pressure?
Yeah, I think Saurabh bhai, first thing first, I don't think they will make Pat Cummins the captain only because of the fact that he's a seam bowler, and there will always be a competition between him and Marco Jansen and Hasaranga also. So I'm not sure they're going to make him the captain and he's going to play all the games. I think Markram is definitely is captaining the Eastern Cape there, and he's also the almost the full-time South African captain. I think Temba Bavuma also will step down as the ODI captain soon. So I think Markram will continue as captain. And second thing, by on the availability issues, yes, even I had these concerns. Like just yesterday, I thought, wow, Owen Morgan, for example, picked him in the mock auction, and I was like, why did he pick? And he made a very good point that what the point I mentioned here, that the leadership group, which I mentioned a few minutes before, he mentioned that point. So, and I thought it made sense because he has been in part of Sunrisers, so he understood that environment well. And second thing, by on the availability and form and fitness and the workload management, Daniel Vittori is the assistant coach of Australia. So no better person than having a rapport and communicating the information with him. And I'm sure if they are not, especially the owners we have, if they are not sure about a player, they are not going to go at him definitely. So I think they got the assurance from Daniel Vittori that he's going to be there, and hence that is the only reason why maybe they have gone for him. And like I said, leadership material definitely. If you look at the bowling we have Bhuvi, Natarajan, and Umran Malik. Yes, Bhuvi had a very good Mustaq Ali, had a very good UP League, had a very good Vijay Hazare, but he is not the Bhuvi of 2018 or 2019. So definitely there is we need to have a backup there. And Natarajan has been very injury prone, and Umran Malik is still not the bowler what we have expect him to do. And Marco Jansen, he does well in the power play, but he gets smacked also sometimes when the lengths are gone here and there. So there are a bit of concerns here. I think Pat Cummins' addition here will get that middle overs sorted. If let us say if we are playing, I think his bowling will suit in Hyderabad wicket. And yeah, I think someone has a point here.
uh, Purely on skill point, Pat Cummins, according to me, I mean, I don't know how many people will agree. I think he's a better T20 batsman than he's a bowler. Let's be honest. I think he's still not cracked the T20 code in terms of which lengths he needs. What lengths does he need to bowl in a T20 game? Because he bowls brilliant Test match lines. He's very consistent. He gets that one spot, and he just like Glenn McGrath, he just keeps hammering it at it regularly. One day he's okay, somewhat. He's got a decent bowling attack around him, so his shortcomings as a one-day bowler are somewhat covered up because there's the mastery of that Zampa and everybody else around him. As a T20 bowler, he's been in the IPL for far too long. He's still not been able to crack the code. I mean, almost every other game he's been. If you pick, he's getting back for about 10 runs and over. Uh, as a batsman, he offers incredible value. I mean, at number 7, he's good enough to bat 6. He's brilliant for number 7, and if he comes at 8, I mean, you've got a dream. I mean, he's that good a batsman. He can score you a 15 ball 50, and it will not surprise you. But as a bowler, he struggles immensely in T20 cricket because he's not understood the length at which he has to bowl, and I'm still not sure whether he's been able to adjust. He still figured out how to crack that code
Abhinav,
because it's.
Abhinav,
Hmm.
on a lighter note, I want to say, you are asking or you're saying?
No, I'm saying this. It's my comment. I think. I mean, it's. I
Because I think because
Pat
you're
Cummins at that price.
no, why
Pat
I'm saying
Cummins
you're
at
asking.
that price for Sunrisers is I mean, for a bowling attack that I think needed somebody a lot better rounded, a little more,
No, because
little better quality.
if you're not making Pat
No.
Cummins your captain, if you're not making a Pat Cummins your captain, and if as a SRH reviewer you are saying that I'm just asking to Abhishek, I'm just supporting you only, Abhinav, on that point.
Hmm.
That he may not be your captain as per you, nor he will play Why you have to pay 20.5 CR? Again, 20.5 CR if GT would have
Yeah,
been given, I
yeah, yeah,
understand, because they have 30.
yeah.
Only this thing I'm asking to you. I'm not saying, I'm asking. And I'm supporting here even Abhinav. So even GT would have been gone for 20 CR, I understand, because they wanted somebody like a fire to fire with Hardik to Pat Cummins, because not as an all-rounder, might be as an impact player who can be the number two as a captain supporting Shubman Gill. I understand. But Sunrisers, being a team which is always looks pretty good on paper, as per Muhammad Kaf, people looks good on a paper should win the series, but they look always good on a paper. When it comes to performance post 2016 and the David Warner saga, every year we see some of the players are getting hurt through the by the management. So how you see only, and just now we're talking about this, and then you can talk about the other guys also. I think other you guys have done really good buyouts apart from this, but Pat Cummins, I think still you guys have paid around 8 to 10 crores maximum. Yeah, and especially when you're not taking him as a captain. I doubt he fulfilled that 20 CR stuff. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
So coming to the price point here, I think we should not read too much into the price point when it comes to a mini auction, because with 34 crores, SRH had overseas players like Markram, Klassen, Phillips, and Janssen, and they had solid Indian core like Abhishek Sharma, Mayank Agarwal, Tripathi. You had Samad, you had Sanveer Singh, you had Bhuvi, you had Natarajan, Umran Malik, you had Markande. So pretty much your top 11, 12 is set. So what teams like these days does is that they choose one, two, three players and they go after them for full amount. So here SRH, yes, I think probably they wanted Cummins at 15 or 16, but since they had that rivalry with RCB, just not on the field but also on the auction table, I think they're the ego took over and they wanted him at any cost, and they were not ready to leave uh, Cummins for RCB. And I'm not sure what RCB was thinking when they went for 220 crore. I don't know what would have happened. So my point is simple, that the team management was not looking at the money, because all they wanted was a certain individual, and I think they have got that certain individual. And I think 9.5 out of 10. They wanted Hasranga, they wanted Cummins, they wanted a batter, they got head. So I think game done, and they got the three backup Indian places they want. So yeah, he might. I'm still saying that he will not play all the 14 games. Maybe if there is a change in leadership, which I highly doubt it will be, because I think management had showed faith in Markram and they believe him very much, and they gave him the South Africa Championship league. He's doing very well there. He's a captain of an international side. So yeah, and he's a batsman, and Cummins being a bowler, I think even that makes sense. And I think Cummins is also a very good bloke. I think he can be a good team man like Morgan. So I think Sarvesh Bhai can probably say this price point thing and all. So by how
Yeah,
do you
yeah, yeah.
think this
I
price
think
point really affects or not?
yes. See, I mean, if you look at Cummins' price in isolation, then you'll think that 20 crores is too much. But if you look at Hasranga plus Cummins and plus Travis Head, if you add these three places prices, and then you'll get around 27 to 28 crores. Now divided by three, so basically you are having these three players for 9 crores each, right? So before the auction, you would have probably accepted that, okay, if we are getting these three players for 27 crores, then we are more than happy to have them. So now after the auction, if you look
Sarvesh,
at
here,
this, it's such the same
Sarvesh,
thing only.
Sarvesh, I have a question here for you.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about 9 crore each or chalo 8 crore each, that looks okay, no problem with that. But the concern when you are buying, you already have your settled most one of the settled team. SRH are the one of the settled team. Last 2 years they are doing lots of changes in the thing. That's a different part. But their main of the core is fine. As an opener, you have Mayank Agarwal, whom you are paying 12 crore if I'm not wrong. You have Abhishek Sharma, who has really done good in the VST and the T2 and the SMAT, who will open. And we all know if you're playing head, if you're considering the 8 CR each, I'm just bifurcating on that part. I remember I told someone today at my office or somewhere that I will never take head if he is not opening for me. He might be a brilliant fielder or can give you one or two uh, overs in here and there. But if you think that he will be coming and playing against spinner really well, apart from out of 14 2-3 matches, then I'm really sorry to say that he will not able to sustain the Indian quality of spinners.
But what about
I
fielding
mean,
aspect?
absolutely agree. I mean, just to add to that point, they have. I mean, the cost point is fine. Like 27 crores for these three places, fine. They have got the individuals, but then if you look at the entire squad, you will still have problems fitting the four foreigners. You will not have a settled, a foreign core. I mean, if you are playing Pat Cummins and Janssen every game, then you'll have to drop at least one of or two of Markram, Klassen, Travis Head, and they also got Phillips. So what will you do? I mean, you have plenty of issues. They have basically added to what they already had. So I mean, I don't agree with the all the signings, but from the price point of view, I think it's still okay. But from the squad's point of view, I think they have got some things wrong.
I actually agree with Sarvesh because I think it's a you can call it a problem plenty when you've got the likes of a Fazal Haq Faruqi and a Glenn Phillips who are waiting in the wings. But in a team like SRH, which I think could do with guys like them fitting into the 11 a lot more and having somebody like a Head who outside that opening spot will not be able to provide you much value elsewhere because he'll bash the Pacers he'll bash the Pacers all day long, but then you suspect he'll come unstuck against spin. Uh, Pat Cummins, who is not who's a brilliant test bowler, but is has failed to crack the T20 code and is expectedly not going to lead SRH. Which I actually agree with Abhishek. There's no reason that they should be changing the captain just because Cummins is coming with that price point. Uh, it's
No,
I
Abhinav,
mean
when
you.
you're talking, I'm sorry interrupting.
uh,
When you're talking about why I said that captaincy, I just want to say
hmm,
because he is not only the World Cup winner captain. No, no, I'm coming. Let me finish this 30 seconds. Not a World Cup, on not only the World Cup winning captain, he proven so many people wrong as a captaincy material because so many people said he's not a captaincy material the way he played initial first or two matches of World Cup. Even in the Ashes, when he did well as a captain, some strategies were good enough to change. He is a little bit like a very smart kind of stuff. And Manju bhai, please stop bullying me, okay? Please stop bullying me.
let's get back. I mean, Saurabh, continue. I have a rebuttal to it.
So my concern is that why I said 20.5 CR can be justified 100%ly if you need a player who is having a winning mindset. Like when Warner was a captain, he had that mindset. But when you talk about Markram is still struggling as a captain, and he didn't do that well last year at all. His changes, he doesn't know player. But Pat Cummins is a proven international player. He can bring lots of, and people will listen to him. The first thing is that authority. Somebody, if at this moment SRH need a figure who can actually bring everyone together and say, I am your team, I am your captain, I will take care of your stuff. In my point of view, only Cummins can do the needful and can be good enough. So that price tag
My
will go
rebuttal
absolutely
to this.
dependent.
And I have a strong rebuttal to this. You've already declared Pat Cummins, Aiden Markram as your captain. He's already leading your SAT20 team, and he's done that successfully. He's barely had one season as an IPL captain. You've got to give him time. Secondly, if you're suddenly telling him that sorry because we've got a World Cup winning captain now in Pat Cummins, who we've bought for 20.5 crores, it also takes away it also hits the
Abhinav, Abhinav,
confidence of the
you guys,
squad.
Abhinav, you guys. No, 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 no,
Saurabh,
no, no,
please,
no,
please
I
let
just
me.
one thing. One second. Abhinav, I didn't say that 20 point you have to make him captain because of 20.5 CR.
No,
What I
no, no,
mean
no.
to say
I have a
is
rebuttal to.
20.5
I
is
have a rebuttal
justified
to.
if he will
No,
become a captain.
oh, look. I'm coming to that aspect as well. That if you're suddenly bringing Pat Cummins as your captain and you're telling Aiden Markram that sorry, boss, your time is up. I mean, it also kills the morale of the team. You
Yeah,
at this time,
yeah,
the last thing a team like
Abhinav,
SRH needs is that your team morale gets shot before a
yeah,
season
Abhinav,
starts.
yeah, yeah. But
So, which is
Saurabh
what I
was,
mean,
yeah,
doing a captaincy switch at this time will not serve any purpose. Give Markram the time to step up and prove himself, and I think he's got the goods to do it. I think he has the goods in him as a captain to be able to do it. He's shown that as a captain in the SAT20 team with a lineup which wasn't exactly fancy to win the tournament, but he was able to that team was able to pull through. So you've got to give him that time
Abhinav,
to
Abhinav,
familiarize as
Abhinav,
a.
we are talking. Abhinav, you cannot merge two different teams' mindset. South Africa
I'm not,
T20 is a
I'm
very
not
different,
trying
bro.
to do that. I'm not trying to do that. My only thing is that this is they're in two different leagues, but it belongs to the
In,
same ownership group.
but
Somewhere,
anyways,
some it
anyways,
this
Abhinav, what about the other guys? As the Abhishek has left us,
Hasranga is a
let's
good
talk
guy.
about the
Hasranga
other
is
team members.
superb.
How does
Huh.
ownership?
Hasranga is a great purchase. I think at base price that is a steal.
I thought he is going to
Hasranga
be a.
is
I think he will. I thought he is going to corrupt the bank of so many. What to say? Bankruptcy for so many other agency, other IPL franchise. Because especially if you're playing in Hyderabad, you're playing for LSG, and ball is turning like him and the all-rounder like him. But again, I told someone that he's going to make a big purse, and I saw it's a 1.5 CR he got. I said, "What's it?"
the two purchases. Hasranga stood out for me, and I was very impressed with the purchase of Jathvet Subramaniam because I've seen him bowl in the TNPL. There's something about this guy that screams mystery, and that doesn't always bode well for an opposition team. So I think, given the chance, I mean, he's got somebody like Murli Saran to work with him over there who knows a couple of things about mysteries. So I think Subramaniam could be that sort of a, I mean, in an impact player role. He could do this the sort of a he in an impact player role. He might have the similar sort of an impact that Surya Sharma was able to have for KKR.
ठीक है. Thank you, Abhinav. Abhishek bhai, just you can go ahead with the your team's final understanding. What exactly as per you? We all going on a mute. You please tell us exactly overall what you think, how exactly you wanted to do, and what is your outcome. And today we will again connect on this. Today, what do you think that your team 11 would be?
Yeah, I think we have a pretty much good 11. I think before I said before only that we had a good 11, but I think with the new additions, I think we have a like opening. I think it seems that head and Abhishek Sharma are going to open, and one down it is going to be Markram, two down Rahul Tripathi, then Klassen, then you are going to have Klassen, Markram, and then you have Samad, you have Sanveer Singh, and then you have Marco Janssen or Cummins. It depends on what kind of wicket we are going to play. And so the four foreigners are done. And then we have Mike Markande, Bhuvi, and Natarajan as a 11. And the rest four, I think we can pick based on form. The four substitutes we have. Hasranga comes in if it's end of April, May. I think Hasranga comes. Or if we are playing in Chapok, Lucknow, on slow tracks, I think Hasranga comes for Cummins or Janssen. And if the form of Klassen or Head is going here and there, then probably we might swap with Mayank Agarwal and Phillips can come down and bowl some off spin also. So yeah, he's a 40 player, so he can do anything. I think this is what the 15 looks like at the moment.
but
I'm
Robin,
sorry,
I
what the word you have used, Abhishek? 40.
Sorry,
What the word you use? 4D. 4D or I heard is wrong?
15,
4D,
15.
15.
अच्छा अच्छा
Yeah,
ठीक
the
है मुझे
15.
लगा 4D
What's
मुझे
up?
लगा हैदराबाद में लोगों को मोहब्बत है 3D 2D और 4D से
Yeah, that one. Phillips is a 40 player. I've used that term. Batting,
40
keeping,
okay
off
okay
spin, bowling.
I think the I must say the 2019 somebody told 3D and we all have gone through the pain. I hope the SRH won't go with the pain in the 4D with respect to Abhishek's comment.
Yeah. Hopefully, Gujarat are making good use of him. So hopefully, let them be there. I think let's move to Gujarat now. I think we've got him.
Fine. I want to give Sarvesh by the starting spot for Gujarat. Sarvesh bhai, you're on mute.
Sarvesh bhai, I think you're on mute.
Yeah, it's not
Wait a
fine.
second.
No, it's fine.
Which one?
Yeah,
Okay.
now it's fine. Now
So
it's
so
fine.
they have already replaced Hardik Pandya, the captain. They'll have to replace Hardik Pandya, the bowler, and the batter. So that's not an easy job. They will have to replace him with two different players. But the thing is that they have signed today. I think Umesh Yadav. They already had Mohammad Shami. They already had Mohit Sharma, and now they in that all rounders role they have signed Azmatullah Omarzai. So what is going to happen is basically Azmatullah is basically he can swing around. He's a good he could be a new ball bowler. So the thing is that if he opens, then you already have Shami there. You already have other bowlers who could open for you. So maybe they will have some difficult time with Azmatullah. I mean that's just my prediction because to just fit him in the team in the starting 11 because they may not have a fixed role for him. But at 50 lakhs, I think it's a good buy. They have not invested a lot in him, but given his caliber, I think it's still a good pick. And apart from that, I think they have missed out on a few fast bowlers. I think they do not see Josh Little as their primary left arm seamer, so that's why they have gone with Spencer Johnson again. It's at 10 crores. Maybe they have overpaid, but I think they did not have any other option. I think they should have probably gone a bit more for Madhushanka. I don't know why they didn't go for Madhushanka, why they didn't go for Gerald Kodzi. I don't know what happened there, but 10 crores for again Spencer Johnson, slightly overspent there. But again, it's they had the purse, so it's still okay. And overall, if you look at their team, I think at the end they made some good purchases. So squad wise, I think they are fine. They are looking okay. I don't know if it's still a top four side, but they are still like they should be there around 5 or 6.
Uh, I kind of agree with what Sarvesh said. I think Spencer Johnson, I think it's a shock value, shock factor purchase because those who've seen him bowl, I think they'll remember him with for that spell he bowled in the 100, where he conceded just the 1 run in the 20 balls he bowled and picked up 3 wickets. I think he comes in with that shock value that he's still relatively unknown to the Indian shores, despite the fact that he played those 4-5 T20s. I mean, as worthless as that series was, I think there was some visibility that they had, but there's a lot of good. He brings in that X factor, brings that bit of an X factor to that pace attack. Probably will be the one who will also have to close out the death overs. Umesh Yadav gives them an experienced Indian power play option. A brilliant purchase I think they made in Karthik Tyagi at 60 lakh. Outstanding purchase at value. Somebody who's got a lot of upside despite his injury problems. And I think somebody who can actually, he'll be the Indian option in the death overs. I think he'll be able to give them a lot of option value in the death overs, especially because of he's got pace on him. Azmatullah Omarzai, again, I agree with what again Sarvesh brilliantly said. Brilliant option. He'll be able to give you value with the new ball, and he's good enough to bat maybe 4 or 5 at number 5 for Gujarat. I think I mean, despite losing a Hardik Pandya, I think uh, they've managed to somewhat recoup and do much better, and got to give them credit. Manav Sutar. Manav Sutar is an outstanding purchase at base price for them. Gives them another a very good left arm spin option. I think I think it's criminal that they're not able to try and fit a Ravi Sai Kishore in their 11 already, and it becomes even harder now that because they've got now Manav Sutar in that 11, so in that squad. So I think some very good purchases. I think they've had a very good option in terms for rating. I would probably give it an 8.5. I think very solid 8.5. They were very they were relatively whatever they tried to go for. They got at least whoever they wanted. They somewhat got them. I mean, in terms of getting the roles correctly, the player roles they were looking at, I think they got those profiles somewhat correctly.
See, somewhere down the line, I still feel, and I would like to say that if they would have been gone for Pat Cummins for that price, it would have been justified as per me. Reason, they don't have Hardik. Shipman is pretty new. Their bowling attack and all batting, whatever the that team combination, that's not going to change because they still have the very much core team with them. Because Ashish Nehra is there and he's a very good ringmaster in that case. He knows what he has to do, but they have to look into a player who will fulfill the. This question from me to Manju Bhai and Sarvesh, that who will fulfill the shoe of Hardik Pandya, not as a captain. Leave the captaincy part, especially the happiness he used to bring, the happening. Because what I heard from so few journalists in the spaces, whom I trust them, they said that Rashid chances are might not be that great for entire IPL because the injury he had. Because the we can only get to know in January whether he will be able to play the Indian series or not, because it's a lower back surgery. And why I put Manju Bhai, because Manju Bhai is a surgeon also. He knows exactly that he can explain that why it is tough for him to come back within the 5 6 months time when it's a back injury and the surgery of the back. It has happened. It's a big surgery for them. But as per you two guys, who can fulfill the question is that they did okay. They did spend money on a very, I think, say, good way that they spend where they wanted to be. But who will fulfill Hardik Pandya's role as a player, not as a captain? Leave. Please, you guys, whomsoever. I think Manju Bhai wants to start or Sarvesh. You guys do the toss and
Manju bhai,
say.
you can start. Manju bhai, you can start.
So
I
I
think
think
on a funnier note, I think the only person who can do that was Vijay Shankar because he can bowl and he can bat. So I think probably
See that 4D to 3D.
they have got Shah Rukh for 7.4 crores. How do they plan to use him? But for I have not followed Shah Rukh's career recently. So like definitely they would have seen something in the scouts that they went for him aggressively.
Shah Rukh Khan, I
And
think I saw him in
Shah Rukh
Tamil
Khan,
Nadu Premier League. Shah Rukh was basically he was the top bowler. I think he was the highest wicket taker in Tamil Nadu Premier League. So, but it's bad if you see his record. It's not that great in the recent past. So as a bowler, but he doesn't bowl in IPL. So again that's a concern.
so I have a problem here. If you guys are talking about this Maharaja Trophy and this Tamil Nadu Trophy, Maharashtra Trophy, Chhattisgarh Trophy, Chhattisgarh Trophy, etc. trophies and all. So I just want to say it here. I hope everybody knows India is one of the. Then R. Vinay Kumar would have been the one of the greatest ever all rounder for Team India because he used to bat at number 4 in your Karnataka Premier League earlier. So if you see and buy somebody like that from there, where we saw him already, that apart from his 170 or 190 innings, if 160 ball in Ranji Trophy 2 years back, he didn't do even perform for any of the stuff in a better way. He had to ball a lot because he wanted to add something because he had been asked by the Indian team management to ball a lot. What I heard through the spaces and all. In altogether, if you find out Shah Rukh Khan,
So wanted to
he
know about
doesn't deserve 7.6 crore.
Ishan Mishra has been picked up in 2.2 crores. So like anyone has any idea about
I think I am missing here my guy. Huh.
Kaushik.
Nahin,
it?
So
Kaushik,
what
but
I do know about.
later, I don't know. We are not following each other. So I have no idea what happened in that case. But I know Varun Giri. Varun Giri
Uh,
gives Varun Giri gives a more viable and what, in my point of view, very unbiased kind of information because he might be fan, might not be fan, but he never take it to a different level. He always give you the proper raw data. Why? Because
hmm,
when talking to the Manav Sutar, I heard this name earlier, but when he was following him from past 1 year, and he always all those data he has given with you, why somebody should go for that number. Same with the Samir Rizvi with
yes.
the CSK or somebody like that, because they perform on a some level. But I know unknown bowlers can be okay. Unknown bowlers are always tough to play, but unknown batsmen who always go for 7 8 crores, 6 crores, even this guy, even Preeti Zinta bought him for a very high amount. That's 1 or 2 years back. What happened? He didn't even play the matches. So question is that your spending money is fine, but 7 crore for Shahrukh Khan is for me that you have money and you can buy like side dish as per your wishes. You are you have what to say? You have cold drinks, the Coca Cola, and buying kaju ka proper as a side dish is a pretty different thing altogether. So I
Yeah,
think
I think
that
why once again the price, I think I
But
have to differ here because the price is definitely, if you look at the supply and demand, players like Shah Rukh Khan who can hit the ball, big and who have had the experience of playing in the IPL before, and for Punjab Kings, so he played a little bit of those breezy innings in the back end, and also for Tamil Nadu Premier League, he also bowls off spin. He's the purple cap holder there, and he also whacks it a few.
Ashwin
I think,
Ashwin open in TNPL. He
yeah,
bats
yeah,
at
I
number
get it.
3.
Yeah,
He
it's
opened
like
the ball.
once again.
Question is not that, sir. Why I am
Yeah,
talking about that?
Hardik's fixing.
My
Yeah,
concern is more than money. My concern is more than money. It's a proven on what basis we are showing. For example, why I am saying this? We are playing T20 guy to the test matches just to ensure that he will play like T20 in the test matches. Then you are playing him in the one days also, and the same guy is playing the T20 is done in such a way against the same bowler in such a way that oh my god, where he is playing for. So somewhere down the line, people have to understand one thing. If you're like Sehwag, if you say what we think, Sehwag is a very good T20 player, but his test averages are amazing. Strike rate is 83 plus. ODIs it is 33, 30, 34, 35. T20 is 28. Internationals I'm talking about. Strike rate is always higher everywhere. But the question is that how you going to prove your worth for that money? And quite obvious, the money. It is not in hand of the player. And player is. I'm not saying that player has done any kind of mistake. No, player deserve because the player are here to play only 10 to 15 years. Whatever earning they are doing, it's good for them because everybody is not able to play to the international matches, not getting the Lux, Cozy, or Manforce or any kind of ads and all. Why I'm saying these numbers because KKR and the Punjab Kings 11 were associated with them. So they're not going to get their ad things and all, they're not getting the revenue. But if Abhishek Bhai is having 30 crore, being a person, would you like to pay 7.5 crore to Shah Rukh when you know that you have a 37 crore ka purse and there are players who you could have been gone ahead with to replace
I
Hardik?
think the thing is, I think the reason they've gone for Shahrukh because I think they don't want to overstaff the overseas player for a finisher. I think they're still looking at an Indian finisher, replacing a Hardik with two Indian options instead of doing it with two overseas options because I think they want to keep that balance somewhat intact. So I mean, it is understandable why they've gone for a Shahrukh at that price point. I think there is. I still think that there is still something that GT might be able to extract out of Shahrukh. I think because I think in Punjab he was wasted in a terrible setup. I mean, let's be honest. I mean that ownership and that cricketing setup is not going to do no good to any player's career. So I think he's in a very good franchise, and Nehra ji is the master of turning people's careers over and giving them a new lease of life. So uh, I think he's in a very good franchise, and I think he'll probably able to do a lot better with GT.
yeah, so any idea about this Robin Mills who fetched like 3.6 crore? There's was a lot of interest for it.
Sarvesh, why
Yeah, I mean,
you
I
can.
have heard. Yeah, I have heard reports on him that people are saying that he's. So I have seen some of his clips from the Jharkhand T20 league. I have seen him hit it long, hit it very long, hit it. So I was watching the on Geo. I was watching the post auction show, and Parthiv Patel was saying that people call him left-handed Pollard. So I mean, it's a very huge. Pollard is a very huge name. So I mean, if he's saying that, I mean, so there has to be something in it. I mean, I haven't seen him personally a lot, but people are saying that he has got a lot of talent. He's only like 20 or 21. there is some talent for sure, because there were a lot of teams interested in him. So I'm sure there is some talent in there.
Yeah, I think you see CSK went for him first, so he's from Jharkhand, so MS has an eye, and
Yeah.
Akash Ambani also went for him, so there's definitely
Yeah.
good
And
amount of
Mumbai,
scouting interest.
and if Mumbai is going for an uncapped Indian player, I think there's then it's blood in the water scenario. Then I think because they smell something they catch tea leaves that nobody
One
else
second.
leaves. I
Are we
think
talking about the Kumar Kushagra?
no, no,
No,
no.
no,
Robin
Robin
Minch.
Mins.
Robin Minch.
Or
I
Robin
think
Mins?
there's.
Okay, okay.
I think they are going to look at him as somebody I think who replaces Riddhiman Saha in the long term.
Buddhiman
I think
Saha.
they're looking.
Yeah.
I think because
I think
they're.
Robin Mins bats at like 5 or 6. Saha basically opens. So maybe in long term they are planning for Shubman Gill along with Sai Sudarshan, and then Kane Williamson and the other batters could follow, and then Robin Mins at the bottom. And they also have Abhinav Manohar, so they have actually lower order batting. They may not have to start Shah Rukh Khan straight away. They can just start with Abhinav Manohar, then maybe for the backups role, maybe Shah Rukh Khan can come in.
Yeah, I think they can go like this, like Saha and Kane Williamson or Matthew Wade can open, and then they can play Sai Sudarshan, Vijay Shankar, David Miller, Shahrukh Khan, Tewatia, Rashid, Shami Mohit, and one of Johnson or Little. I think this looks like pretty much level.
I think it's a good.
Uh,
I mean,
Here we have got a
I
here
think
we
maybe
got a
for.
comment, guys. We got a comment from someone called Akshay Pratap Singh. I think he's a MI supporter, and he said that he full support to Kung Fu Pandya. Lift the trophy and silence the haters. Come on, Pandya. So
Uh,
quite obvious it is that yes, we all support here Kung Fu Pandya, and we are not anti anything because ultimately that's not in our hand as a fan. We don't follow
Support.
any kind of IPL franchise. I personally don't follow any kind of IPL franchise because of individual choices. Yes, I may like not like a particular franchise due to that. That's a different thing. But again, if somebody has changed the team, doesn't mean that because it's not about the loyalty. It's all about the opportunity, and we all know exactly when you are in 30s how a good opportunity is required,
All,
and when you're taking it, why not?
all sports careers are short, so you should maximize the returns. So I don't blame
Absolutely,
him at
especially
all.
the way he is getting injured here and there.
Despite the Barbados accent, I still love it. So I hope he does that.
Me too. Me too. Absolutely. That's right. So, what do you think exactly, guys? That Gujarat team is good enough this time? They can win it, or go to the knockouts. I'm not going to talk about the semi-finals or the finals or eliminator, whatever we say that, because once you knock out, it's all about that day.
I think it
Yeah.
depends on
I
how
think they're
good
good
Gill
enough for the.
handles pressure. I think how good
I
he
think it's
handles
about
setting
Gill
up.
stepping up now as a captain. I agree with Abhishek. It's about Gill stepping up as a captain, but in terms of a squad, I think they're still good. They're good enough to make it to the playoffs. I still believe they're good enough to make it to the playoffs purely because it's Nehraji. You don't want to bet against Nehraji. Let's be honest.
They have a good variety. They are trying to pick
Ha.
different players. So their auction behavior also suggests that they want that variety and they are assembling a good squad. So,
They've got a good Afghanistan player score. So I think again that
yes.
also helps.
Yes.
So it means that we all have that faith that GT will keep doing well in this season also. SRH also we say exactly that we are going to do, but again SRH hasn't done because the second team we are talking about. Let's now move to Mumbai Indians. And when it comes to Mumbai Indians, we all know that we're not going to stop here. He can even kill us if I'm not giving the mic to him. So let's start. Abhinav, see, when somebody will say, please ask other people also. Just don't give us a Shashi Tharoor
Of course.
speech. It won't help us.
Of course.
So go ahead with that, Mike.
I'll,
Best wishes.
yeah, please. I think probably one of the best teams of the auction table. I think they were a lot of their work was done before the auction. I mean, the trade for Hardik Pandya was able to solve a lot of things in terms of playing of the dynamics for the playing 11. And I think that enabled the Mumbai Indians to really come very, very laser focused in the auction. I think amongst all the madness, here's a figure. Their first two players, who happened to be Gerald Coetzee and Dilshan Madhushanka, cost 9.6 crore in total, which is still about 1.9 crore less than what RCB paid for Alzari Joseph. That itself is a stat they planned their auction to the T, and they managed to get two brilliant options who actually give that pace attack so much more teeth than they had in the last 2 years. Because I think with successive injuries, first to Archer and then to Bumrah, just knackered the pace attack completely. Uh, this year it looks very very ferocious, because I think with Madhushanka you will be able to get that left because Mumbai always loves their overseas left arm fast bowler, and somebody like Madhushanka who's got so much upside to him. I think somebody, and especially with a coach like Lasith Malinga in the Mumbai setup now, coaching their bowlers, I think Madhushanka will be a very very good option up front. I think because if anything we've seen in the World Cup, the moment he gets the ball, he pitches the ball up, he's a very very different character. He becomes a very very different bowler, and it's not a pretty sight for the opposition. Gerald Coetzee, we saw what he did in the World Cup. Middle overs, he creates, he harangues the batsman. Literally, he's haranguing and harassing a batsman with that pace. I mean, it is terrifying at times, and plus he offers some value with the bat as well at number 8. So that also comes in handy. And if that wasn't enough, I think the purchase of Nuwan Tushara, I'll be honest, I was confused why they went for him. And then bit of scrolling on ESPN Cricket Info and and the couple of videos I saw, they call him Pori Malinga, I think, in Sri Lanka. And I think whatever we saw, the videos that came in, he's definitely, he's got a Malinga like sling to him. So and that is a very very interesting dynamic that they've now picked up. Then I think a few domestic purchases, very very astute domestic purchases. I think Anshul Kamboj had a pretty good Vijay Hazare Trophy for the now champions Haryana. Naman Dheer comes in with a pretty decent reputation as a batter for Punjab, and then even Shivalik Sharma, I think, plays for Baroda. He's also, I mean, there's not much known about him, but look, when Mumbai are scouting an uncapped Indian domestic player about whom not much is known, I think you've got to trust the judgment of those scouts over there. And Nabi adds that experience, and somebody who I think in conditions like that in Delhi, Lucknow, or in Chennai, I think will be able to give them a very very good controlling off spinner. I think in those conditions, and plus he can smack the ball pretty effectively at number 5 or 6. So, and the beauty of what Hardik's trade has done is that Mumbai can now literally in their 11 they can field all of Nuwan Tushara, Gerald Coetzee, and Dilshan Madhushanka in the same 11, and that itself becomes a very very tricky proposition if you're not even adding a Jasprit Bumrah to the equation. So 16 overs of place, potentially 20 overs of pace if you're thinking Hardik Pandya as well. So I think it is now a question of just how effectively Mumbai can now control the backroom mess that has happened, the mess that has been created with the uneasy transfer of power from Rohit to Hardik. I think it is now just about ensuring that that the fallout doesn't become so big that it destabilizes the team, because otherwise Mumbai have assembled an absolutely cracking core. They've assembled an absolutely cracking squad, and playoff looks certain with this side. With this side, a playoff spot looks absolutely dead certain.
Abhinav, when you talk about all those stuff, I understand that.
Uh,
I understand.
I think even Manju sir has a question.
And
Uh,
players, how do you think they'll use him?
I don't think they'll use Shreyas Gopal as much, because I think as a bowler, he's, I think, fallen off a cliff. He's become more of a batter, somebody who can bat up in the middle order, and he's become less of a bowler. I mean, he'll maybe give you one or two, maybe 2 overs of leg spin. And the issue is that he's very very predictable with his bowling. It's the googly or it's nothing with him. So I think they'll continue to rely a lot more on Piyush Chawla amongst their Indian options. And I think if they're traveling to a Chennai or Delhi or Lucknow, I think they'll then make that call to fit in Mohammad Nabi into the playing 11.
And Abhinav Bhai, how is Kumar Karthikeya doing in the domestic scene? Is he doing good
I
or
think
they have problem?
he's been doing decently. I think, but I think there's still a little bit more work that he probably needs to do, especially as a T20 spinner. I think he's been
Currently,
doing pretty well with the red ball,
the
but
middle.
I think T20 requires him to do a little bit more work. I think so. They'll rely a lot on Piyush and maybe Shams Mulani.
So there was some news that his coach had asked him to strictly bowl orthodox spin. So is that
Yeah,
been lifted or something was there in the middle? Like,
I
is he
think they'll.
accepting the unconventional
I,
stuff?
if you follow Kumar Karthikeya in domestic cricket, I have seen him in Ranji cricket. He normally opens with the ball, and he normally bowls 90% of the times. He bowls the proper left arm orthodox spin. He doesn't bowl anything else. Just proper line and length, left arm deliveries, orthodox spin. That's it. Nothing else. No shiny stuff. Nothing. No dusra. No carom ball. No leg spin. Nothing. And when he bowls in white ball tournaments, he basically tries those variations. And of late, I think he has basically reduced those, but he's now, you can, earlier he was like a 50-50 bowler. Now he's more like a 80-20. He's basically 80 left arm orthodox and 20 the Chinaman or the other googlies or other bowler. So I think if you want a proper left arm orthodox spinner, I think Shams Mulani could be a better option. If you're going for some mystery, I don't know if they will go for him, but if you want it, then I think Kumar Karthikeya could be the option.
I mean,
Here I
purely on
got to
that
know Rinku
mystery
Singh
track.
got their guys. Rinku Singh
Huh.
got his first
Pure-
wicket.
Oh,
Oh,
Rinku Singh
lovely.
got
Rinku
his
Singh.
Rinku. Rinku
because
can do
India lost by
anything.
8 wickets.
Rinku can do anything. He can do anything in the world, and we won't even be surprised. It's Rinku's world, and we're just living in it.
He
But yeah,
lost
I
the
mean,
match by
coming to
8 wickets.
the mystery aspect, that to come back to the discussion and to come back to the mystery aspect that Sarvesh brought in, I thought that Mumbai, I was telling to my friends, the last purchase, overseas purchase for Mumbai should have been Waqar Salam Khil, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because
I
I
agree.
think
I agree.
he definitively brings that absolute that mystery element with him, and he's been playing with with MI's
Emirates,
overseas league teams.
UAE league. Yeah.
He's been with them in Emirates. He's been to the New York side, and now he's also in the MI Cape Town team. So I think they should have gone in for him, but it is understandable why they've gone for a Nabi, because I think in the World Cup, he proved a lot of people wrong with the kind of control that he was able to generate with his off spin. And then I think Mumbai wanted somebody who's able to get that control, who offers them that control, because I think they would want the spinners only to be controllers. They don't want them to be the wicket take. A frontline wicket taker. Last year, Piyush Chawla had to become that default wicket taker because they didn't really have anyone else. So I think this time, with the fact that they've got such uh, enviable and dangerous pace attack on their hand, it allows them to use the spinners the way MI used to use them earlier, more as controllers to just keep a flow, keep a check on the runs.
Okay, Avinav, I think nice. Let's get into the another team because I think we have crossed already 53 minutes of the time where we have only able to do
Uh,
it three teams. I
Three.
think we need to talk about only 3 minutes about each team. We should not take
Hmm.
much time because see, justifying a particular stuff is all about the perception, and we can't change anybody's perception here. And the stuff is
True.
the listeners, and I'm sure exactly we all think in the same way that it's more than the money individuals game that day matters a lot. Whether if you say that Rinku Singh hits the five sixes in a five ball, getting only 80 lakhs today, and a person would have horrific IPLs getting 20 CRs. It is not a justify to the numbers, but again, it's not in our hand, not in a player's fault. It's all about their luck. Is all about their recent performances. Even the Spencer Johnson will do much better. I'm telling you, in IPL when I saw him that hundreds. Up after that, also I see exactly. Only the thing it is, he doesn't look like an Australian bowler who is a, who is confident. He's a little bit down of confidence when we starting, but I'm sure if he'll play IPL, he may become the David Warner, the way David Warner has introduced into the 9 or 10 by Delhi Daredevil those days. So yes, but again, I'm just coming to the next point is KKR. I think Vanjanath Bhai loves Rashagulla and a lot. and it talks about lots of stuff. Why don't you take Manju Bhai about KKR but we have only for 3 to 5 minutes time, not more than that.
No, KKR, they have made some interesting purchases. Like they have invested in Sherfane Rutherford. They got him for 1.5 crore. So basically, they may get 2 overs out of him if he's actively bowling. I don't know his recent status, but primarily he's there for his batting. So they will expect him to finish a few games for him. And apart from that, they have KS Bharat as the keeper. So I don't know how many chances he'll get, but it seems that they will look to play him as a primary keeper. But how do they use him? That is a question. Then there is Chetan Sakaria as a left arm seamer, whom they have. And of course, the biggest is Mitchell Stark. So of course, Mitchell Stark will play in every game. He's the most expensive buy of today. So he beat Cummins also in a matter of hours. So, and of course, from MI, we have that all-rounder Ramandeep Singh who has gone to KKR. So, they are also looking at some all-round power at the bottom order. So, overall, I felt the strategy is more like they are looking for 6, 7, and 8 to find people who can finish games for them. That is where the problem is. Whereas, apart from that, their like top order seems to be good. Like, so any other newer players? Like, because I missed.
I think there's a new player is your Shakib Hussain. I think he is
Yeah.
a bowler, if I'm not wrong. I think he's a bowler. He is Shakib Hussain, who
and
joined.
Gus Atkinson from England.
Gus
Yeah,
Atkinson is a well-known name at this moment, so we all
No,
know
no,
about
he's
him.
still not. I disagree. I think there's still he's still not well known. I mean, he did travel to the World Cup, but he traveled as barely a known figure in international cricket. So there's still a lot that needs to be seen about Atkinson. But I mean, it's a good promise. The promise they've bought him on the promise that he has as a proper as an absolute all-out enforcer bowler who can probably
I,
back up to Stark.
as a KKR, matlab, talk about the KKR. I just like, you know what? They have a pace battery and the spinners, which everybody should be worried about and fearsome. They have Stark, they have Andre Russell, they have Harshit Rana, they have Gut Atkinson, they have Muzimur Rahim, they have Chetan Sakaria, not
Mujib.
So
Mujib.
Yash,
Muzibur Rahman. Muzibur
yes,
Rahman.
yes,
They have Varun
yes.
Chakravarti. They have Shuyesh Sharma. Everything is fine. Vaibhav Arora. But when it comes to the batsmen and the top five, if you'll talk about, the toughest part for KKR is if God forbid something happened to their core team players for 1 or 2 matches, their entire batting will go for toss. They have done really well with the 140 plus bowlers altogether who can on their day a bowler can take even 4 to 5 wickets immediately. But
So
batsman side I'm taking is the same Rinku, Nitish, Jason Roy, Shreyas Iyer. Raghuvanshi has been come back, but he's a very new to IPL.
yeah, so I want to ask Sarvesh about like
Yeah.
Ankuresh Raghuvanshi. Where does he play and what is
Ankit Raghuvanshi, he's basically an opener or maybe a top order batsman. It bats in top three. So
Hmm.
I think he's basically signed to give that additional option for the top three, because if something happens, let's say Remanullah Gurbaz, he plays as a wicket keeper and he doesn't do well, then he has to be dropped. And then if he has to be dropped, then someone has to open. So for that, I think Ankrish can come in for him, and then later at the down the order, I think
Then who?
Shikhar Bharat
Then
can
PS Bharat
actually
will keep.
come in.
Hmm.
Yeah, they have Bharat as an option for keeper, right? So he
That's
can
why I'm
come down
talking.
the order.
They match up the bowlers really well as a pace bowler,
Yeah,
as a spinner. But somewhere down the line, I think they should have been concentrate on the international batsmen also because they don't
yeah.
have any at this point. I'm not looking into anyone who can really bowl. Bat well. Again, I understand if Ramandeep Singh play and fulfill the lower order batsman like the way he did for Punjab, can do much better. But somewhere down the line, if
Ramandeep Singh, he's actually a good prospect. Again, I'm
Hmm.
going to Punjab's league. There was one match. In that one match, he smashed almost smashed 6 sixes and took a hat trick in the same match.
but
Almost. I mean, he I
unfortunately,
think
That's the biggest problem is happening that we are going. See, Ramandeep Singh, even he performed really well for VST and the Smart, but
Yeah,
he hardly gets a ball from the Punjab team.
exactly.
I
So
Yeah,
same thing
exactly.
you
And
will see.
he absolutely,
I
and he
also
If you
comes
see the
down
Tilak
like
Verma,
at 6 or 7.
if you see the
general
Tilak Verma, what I was aware in under 19 days he used to ball off spin.
He used to bowl.
He
Yeah,
even
yeah,
he earlier days of his few matches he even regularly bowled. From the time I
yeah.
don't know what happened to the players, they join Indian camp or IPL camp, they stop bowling.
He has even bowled in the Ranji Trophy. He has bowled quite decently there. Got 2 3 wickets as well. So I don't know what happened. Again, like you said, something happened and he stopped bowling. Again, same with Ramandeep Singh. He doesn't bowl a lot, and for some reason Punjab doesn't trust him to bowl 3 or 4 overs, or they don't trust him to bat in top 7 or top 8. I've seen a lot of players batting above him who are not good at hitting. I don't know what's the issue.
yeah, so mainly
Thanks,
what
Sarvesh. And go
what
ahead,
I
go ahead, go ahead.
mentioned for Sarvesh and Abhinav is that like nowadays, if you're seeing when you follow franchise T20, what kind of 6, 7, and 8 do teams want? Like, do like management look at it? And how do you like groom these people? Because that is where our World Cups are won and lost later on, and then we rue that there's no one. Okay.
Uh, I'll let Sarvesh take it up first.
I think I think the impact player rule has slightly eased the pressure of that lower order, because they have that extra cushion. Now they know that let's say if Ramandeep Singh is batting at 7. Now suddenly, if he realizes that there's nobody after that, if he realizes that there's only Piyush Chawla batting after him, then his batting, he may not bat with that freedom. But let's say if Ramandeep Singh knows that Nihal Vadera is batting after him, then he knows that okay, we have got that cushion, so it becomes slightly easier to to bat at number 6, 7, 8. But again, it comes down to grooming. We have seen what happened with SRH, where Abdul Samad, he used to, again with same with RR as well. They kept giving chances to Riyan Parag. So it's a difficult thing to actually groom players at 6, 7, or 8. And today I saw, I think it was I don't know, I think it was Zahir Khan, or I think it was Akash Chopra. He said that if you have to make players, then you at some stage you have to promote them and let them take the aggressive route, let them
There
bat
is
higher.
a there
And
is a there is a said from Saurabh Ganguly, and he openly said also, and so many people even said that कि player कभी नीचे नहीं बनते, 5 6 पे नहीं बनते.
exactly, exactly,
Player
exactly.
प्लेयर को पानी में छोड़ना पड़ेगा, उनके ऊपर है स्विम. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल वीरू वीरू वांटेड टू प्ले even his good days and the heydays, he always said that I want to play in the middle order. He didn't get opportunity, he pushed him. Mahendra Singh Dhoni also we all know got to know only because he got an opportunity at number 3 and that 183
Three.
who can the 148 if I'm not wrong against Pakistan.
Yeah,
Who
It
Pakistan.
was
can
the 140.
148?
Yeah, yeah.
Who can even forget about it? And 183 also came at number 3 only, 96 as an opener. So question is that even Riyan Parag, I think this time he should play at number 4 for them. Whatever the season goes,
Mm.
let him play because Sanju Samson never played at number 7 from the time he played for. He played for 4 or 5 mostly. Now he is number 3 for them, number 4 for number 3 or number 4 for them, depending upon the situation, last 4 5 times. But when you see exactly, and to a batsman, a proper thing to a proper place to a proper batsman who exactly used to play at his own state like that. State I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the state T20s. I'm talking the national T20s. I don't give a damn. I'm so sorry to say you. As a bowler, I can even pace bowler or the main spinner, I can feel about you, how you took a wicket and all. But if you talk about a bowler who is a, I'm using the Sanju Manju's word is as a bits and pieces bowler and take lots of wickets in that Maharaja Trophy, Maharani Trophy, Irani, your Rajkumar Trophy, doesn't matter because you are not getting an opportunity in the national level. So when you have to, where you have given an opportunity, you have to perform that position. So I
That's what
think
I asked Abhinav. The other counter question of this is that impact player rule, is it finishing the all rounders? Because there are few players who have said that with the impact player rule
That's
we
true.
cannot all people are
should be
not
removed. So impact
I,
player rule
it,
is
it
good,
needs to be removed.
of
It
course.
is a bullshit rule. It is a bullshit rule, and it needs to be removed. I mean, you're killing one of the most critical aspects that cricket has. I mean, the concept of an all rounder. I mean,
Abhinav,
you're literally killing that, killing
if
the killing that entire genre of players with this rule called the impact player rule. I mean, why should you use the crutch of an impact player to cover up your deficiencies? That is my biggest gripe with it.
That happened.
That's my biggest gripe with this entire rule.
Yeah, there was a super sub rule where we had Malinga Bandara in Australia
Yes,
coming 10 overs, taking three wickets, and the game was shifted. So that's
yes.
what. So coming to this, like, you think it will stand the test of time, or it will eventually go away?
It needs to go. I mean, in like the super sub rule, I think got was reviled upon, and soon it was consigned to the dustbin. I think the impact player rule too needs to head the same way. I mean,
What
I think Sarvesh might have another might want to add something to it.
Yeah,
Abhishek?
if you remove that rule today, and if you say that okay, let's re-auction, then I'll say this on record: Arshin Kulkarni or Amandip Singh, they would probably go for at least 5 crores each. If not 5, at least 4 crores, 3 crores, but they will not go for the base prices, because with impact player you're basically telling them that okay, you can only bat or you can only bowl. You do not have to you don't have to have the both the skills. So that's the thing.
You don't need to succeed, and you can
Yeah.
have your
Yeah,
five
I
or
think
six
if there is an
until
impact
you
player
are a
rule
full
in the
all-rounder.
T20I format, probably I think that will make sense. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense to have.
See,
It is only detrimental for Indian cricket.
yeah, but again, everyone, I just think exactly if you want to crush anything, you have to crush when you are child. T20 is a child at this moment. Where exactly you are getting an opportunity from the T20 to ODI, ODI to Test. So now problem is happening when you are not giving anybody an opportunity as an all-rounder. How somebody will show that spirit to ODI? Because it's not only T20s. You are playing T20 IPL as an subseed. The the word is super sub or whatever. Even you are getting doing the same thing in your T20 SMAT also.
Yeah.
You're destroying. You are showing Murari Singh that, dude, I don't need you. You ball 125 speed pay. You come at bat at number 6, 7, 8 and score 24-30. I don't need you 24. Sorry, no 24-40. Why? Because your bowling is 125. I don't need your bowling. I need somebody who can bowl really thunder balls or good balls. And batsman, anyways, I will replace that person. I will get a player like anyone who exactly hits six. Shahrukh Khan. I will bring the Shahrukh Khan in that case. So question is not that. Anyways, we are into the KKR. I think everybody will accept that KKR did a good job with the bowling, but then somewhere down the line, they didn't concentrate on the batting. I don't know Gautam Gambhir why he has done it being a batsman, but I
Usually
think
in many seasons, uh, there used to be a joke that
I mean,
McCullum.
I think I don't know what Manju sir said. I think because of audio issues, but I think to quote that age-old line, batsmen can win you matches, bowlers will win you tournaments. I think Gambhir is sticking to that adage, that he's looking at the bowlers to win them a tournament, because he was able to do exactly that with a bowling attack in 2012, with a
when you're
much more
talking
inferior bowling attack. Let's be honest.
when you
So yeah,
when you're
I
talking
think
so old says are very good always, but the biggest problem with the old says is that the world is changing, cricket is changing everything. Anyways, let's get into the, I doubt exactly if we can complete the entire session today because we already have been touched, I think, 4 teams. But look, can we do the next of the 4 teams tomorrow by around 10:30 p.m. again? Let's plan accordingly and close it.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
yeah.
sure.
So as of now, what we feel that's nice that out of four, most of them, everybody, CSK will do tomorrow 10:30, and I think exactly few more people will join us tomorrow and give us a very good
And
insights.
RCB, the big RCB.
The RCB,
RCB,
CSK.
there'll be a lot of things to say. There'll be a lot of things to say about
अभिनव
RCB and
अभिनव
Punjab.
अभिनव 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 12 बजने वाले हैं बच्चे. कल करेंगे
हाँ,
बात. सबको ऑफिस
कल
जाना
करेंगे
है.
exactly. Let's just do it tomorrow. Let's just
Yeah,
do that
Manju,
tomorrow because
Manju
there's a
bhai, we all
lot
have
of things a lot of people would want to say about RCB and Punjab.
amazing. Let's talk about Inder को भी join करवाएंगे कल Kings 11 के लिए. So I would like to say that whatever we
We'll,
assess, we found out one thing.
yeah,
We are not talking about the money, but we all found out one thing. This uh, the X factor stuff is not working for us because as an Indian team, we are always losing the matches only because of all rounders. We are having lack of all
lack of
rounders,
all-rounders.
and at this moment we cannot get all rounders if the super sub or the X factor things will be there. I would really thankful to all of us, especially Abhishek, who joined us first time, if I'm not wrong. Then Sarvesh, I would love to see you a lot, and I am sure exactly we're going to talk a lot on the numbers with Manju Bhai and Vallav because your numbers are pretty good. I will bring even next time Varun Giri, most probably because I want the and guys, we are going to have one session on after tomorrow, mostly in the weekends or one of the days. We will collect all new guys, new faces, and we will have Varun Giri with us, Sarvesh with us, and if anyone else, somebody can bring someone else also. Let's decode them with a
Yep.
number,
Maybe.
with a specific specialization, and why they think because they read about a lot about them. So we'll do all those stuff. Don't worry, don't miss this place because you might think that we're fighting with each other, but actually we are giving everybody a free thinking, pre-process that no. If my team it is, I know exactly why they have done it. Other places not like that, that where exactly people come with the pen and paper with the pointers. And I know exactly
So
what things I talk a lot. Manju bhai already has told it.
whether
We have enough for that.
whether it's
Thank you,
Maharaja
everyone.
or
Thank you, Vallabh. Vallabh is a silent observer today. But I
yeah,
really thank to each and everyone here, especially all the working guys who has to go tomorrow morning to the office. Best wishes as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure being here. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys.
you have to take the stream